Hey everyone, welcome back to the Fat Shaming Chronicles Chapter 2. Have I ever told you when I was fat shamed by some middle-aged white men trying to enjoy their dinner at Pizza Express? Now, if I was to be very fair to these men, it might not have been fat shaming, but more that I wasn't fuckable enough to have respect. I'd just been to my friend's house. I'd driven there, parked nearby, had some very quiet wines because I was driving, and had some home cooked food. I was wearing sweats, my hair was up, I hadn't probably brushed it, I didn't have any makeup on. Now, I'm mentioning what I was wearing because, to be fair to the men, I wasn't looking particularly fuckable. So I was leaving my friend's house probably about 9:30, I can't remember the exact time, but it wasn't super late. And I'd gone out to my car, and I was approached by this man who said, hey, just want to give you the heads up that the car parked in front of you, when they were reversing into the park, they actually hit your car. So far, so good, so helpful. He said that when the driver got out of the car, they did appear to be a bit drunk, or out of sorts, and he had confronted them on the fact that they'd hit my car. So I, of course, thanked the guy. He then went in to meet his friends in Pizza Express, and I proceeded to check over my car. So on the face of it, the car didn't look dented or anything, but I did start to worry that maybe there was some internal damage. Well, potential internal damage that, it's hit the radiator, caused a leak or something. Some kind of damage that's not immediately obvious, but might turn up later. So I took some photos of the car in front of me, and then I proceeded to make the mistake of going into Pizza Express to approach the guy. My plan was I was going to go into the restaurant and just politely ask the guy if he'd mind me having his number in case there's any future problems, because he was a witness. Keeping in mind that this guy had approached me to say that he'd witnessed things, and to helpfully let me know that someone had hit my car. So I went into Pizza Express. Now, anyone that's been into a Pizza Express knows that it's pretty informal. I walked into the restaurant and I saw the guy sitting at a table with about 6 or 7 men that were in their mid to late 50s. So I very politely walked up and just quietly said to the guy, sorry to bother you. Now, they weren't eating at this time. They seemed to be waiting on their order. Anyway, so I walk up and I just say, yes, look, sorry to bother you, but I wonder if you'd mind if I took your number in case I need to contact you in the future as a witness. Completely understand if that's weird and you don't want to, but I'd be really grateful. So the guy who I was asking to be a witness was actually really lovely. He had replied yes, and we were starting to talk, and then that's when his friends jumped in. There was one main instigator, but there was a couple of others that also said stuff. So the main instigator guy, he starts aggressively telling me to stop being aggressive. He was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You've come in here. You're really loud. I mean, we're trying to have dinner here. He gave me a once over, looking up and down, and went from 0 to 100 in terms of like his attitude and his aggression and his agitation at the audacity of me to walk up to this group of men. So I then tried to explain to him what was going on, the fact that his friend had just witnessed something outside, because I got a sense that maybe the friend hadn't said what had happened outside before he went inside. So I'm trying to explain that and just say, oh, look, I'll just be a minute, sorry to bother, the meal that you're having, etc. And he just kept talking over me and cutting me off. So the other friends kind of chimed in chorus about how rude I was. I mean, I'd literally just walked up to this table, approached this guy quietly, and it was like I declared World War III. And they were having none of it. They were all like, no, look, I don't know what you want. Nah, just, can you just leave us alone? It was like total gaslighting or something, of like, where you've just presented yourself in a particular way. I think I know enough about human interaction. I've been on the planet long enough to know whether I've come in politely or come in aggressively. Like, I'm literally going in to ask this guy a favor. I'm not accusing him of anything. Like, there's literally no tone, and I'm coming in to be like, hey, sorry. But yeah, total gaslighting. The audacity to exist, to be standing there in a bigger body, not dressed up, no makeup. I mean, what was I thinking? Anyway, so I asked the guy again. I said, "Look, just trying to ignore the friends. Do you mind if I take the number?" He's fine. He gave me his number, and then I left. And I actually cried. I felt like a bag of dirt. I was in shock, firstly, that someone had hit my car, and then I was in shock that the simple act of walking into this restaurant and trying to speak to this guy was a personal affront to these other men. And I'm 100% positive that if I was existing in a smaller body, that would have not been the reaction. Anyway, so that's my second therapy session with you all. I'm letting it go. It is not my shame. It is their shame. It is inappropriate behavior, and it was uncalled for. And I'm not going to hold it in as a secret as though it's my shame. And this is just your reminder that we all have the right to exist in whatever size body we're currently in. We have a right to respect, and we have a right to take up space. If you are carrying around any shaming that someone has put onto you, then chat to friends, tell them the stories, and let it go. And hopefully it's helpful just to hear someone else talking about negative experiences for just existing in a bigger body. Anyway, take care everyone. Bye.